Now, Trump is, let's say, we're not doing a compliment sandwich, but we're just going to have some fun. Trump is, where is he today? He gave a speech. Is it the WEF? Hold on one second here. This was happening as we were live. Alex Jones, Trump declares war on the NWO, tells he's at Davos elite that their anti-human agenda is over, and proceeds to talk about dismantling the terrible Obama regime. Let's. It's not full 6 minutes. It's like 5 minutes. We'll walk through and commentate on this to praise Trump, where he's kicking some serious ass. But where he needs to kick some serious ass starts with Fauci, goes to Bourla. Bourla didn't get a pardon. Go after Bourla. Bonkel from Moderna. These are people who lied for profit and caused irreparable harm to our very faith in the medical community.
My administration is acting with unprecedented speed to fix the disasters we've inherited from a totally inept group of people and to solve every single crisis facing our country. This begins with confronting the economic chaos caused by the failed policies of the last administration. Over the past 4 years, our government racked up $8 trillion in wasteful deficit spending and inflicted nation-wrecking energy restrictions, crippling regulations, and hidden taxes like never before. The result is the worst inflation crisis in modern history and sky-high interest rates for our citizens and even throughout the world. Food prices and the price of almost every other thing known to mankind went through the roof. President Biden totally lost control of what was going on in our country, but in particular with our high inflation economy and at our border. Because of these ruinous policies, total government spending this year is $1.5 trillion higher than was projected to occur when I left office just 4 years ago. Likewise, the cost of servicing the debt is more than 230% higher than was projected in 2020. The inflation rate we are inheriting remains 50% higher than the historic target. It was the highest inflation probably in the history of our country.
Now, in fairness, people are going to go back and blame Trump for a bit of the inflation, for the printing and the not the bailouts, but the stimulus packages resulting from COVID. People are going to go back and place a certain amount of the blame on Trump for the spending that occurred as a result of the shutdowns and and they're not entirely wrong. And they'll certainly say it's Trump's fault that the inflation occurred because of the Putin inflation, because of the war in Ukraine, because that's Trump's fault as well. So you'll wait for the fact checkers, but calling it now, that's gonna occur. Oh, he wrongly blames inflation on Biden when inflation started as a result of COVID bailout or COVID stimulus policies.
That's why from the moment I took office, I've taken rapid action to reverse each and every one of these radical left policies that created this calamity, in particular with immigration, crime, and inflation. On day one, I signed an executive order directing every member of my cabinet to marshal all powers at their disposal to defeat inflation and reduce the cost of daily life. I imposed a federal hiring freeze, a federal regulation freeze, a foreign aid freeze, and I created the new Department of Government Efficiency.
Let me go see what Doge is at today. Can you appreciate? I mean, this is how you take back control of a country. The amount that was pissed away, squandered, laundered in that Ukraine funding could have rebuilt Lahaina, could rebuild what's going to be left of Los Angeles, could have rebuilt East Palestine, North Carolina. You imagine that veterans in America are taking their own lives, are dying, are suffering because their government is out of money, because it's just shipped $200 billion in aid, military, whatever, to Ukraine. This is how you take back a country overnight. And although the effects of this policy might take weeks, months, maybe even years for you to feel them, the confidence that it instills is like confidence in a market. And the American market right now, confidence is at an all-time high.
I terminated the ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Deal. I call it the Green New Scam. Withdrew from the one side.
He should have called it the Green New Steel, not the Green New Deal. Trump! Oh, you missed a good one there. I don't call it the Green New Deal. I call it the Green New Steel. I like the way he's talking, by the way.
Paris Climate Accord. and ended the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate. We're going to let people buy the car they want to buy. I declared a national energy emergency, and it's so important, national energy emergency, to unlock the liquid gold under our feet and pave the way for rapid approvals of new energy infrastructure. The United States has the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we're going to use it. Not only will this
going to use it, going to not be dependent on Saudi Arabia and Venezuela, going to not be dependent on Russian whatever, and going to be produced in a way that's going to be actually more environmentally friendly, more employment friendly, less human exploitive than it's being done in China or India. It's an amazing thing. Common sense that everybody knew, but some people hypothesize, and I think rightly so, that the Biden and the Trudeau's administrations had zero interest in actually improving the quality of life for the people they were elected to govern. They had more globalist agendas, and it seems that that's come to an end.
This reduce the cost of virtually all goods and services. It'll make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. My administration has also begun the largest deregulation campaign in history, far exceeding even the record-setting efforts of my last term. In total, the Biden administration imposed $50,000 in additional regulatory costs on the average American household over the last 4 years. I have promised to eliminate 10 old regulations for every new regulation, which will soon put many thousands of dollars back in the pockets of American families. To further unleash our economy, our majorities in the House and Senate, which we also took along with the presidency.
In case you forgot, Democrats, in case you forgot, it was a landslide. He only got, he didn't get over 50% of the total popular vote after we finished counting all of those wonderfully kosher ballots in California 30 days later. Everything. Popular vote, boy, he got the popular vote, landslide. I was going to say landfill, but I'm talking that's where Biden's regime is going.
Are going to pass the largest tax cut in American history, including massive tax cuts for workers and family, and big tax cuts for domestic producers and manufacturers. And we're working with the Democrats on getting an extension of the original Trump tax cuts, as you probably know, by just reading any paper. My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth.
Can you believe? I mean, it's like, it seems so obvious.